All right, now we're going to look at two fallacies. We're going to look at the fallacy of fairness and the fallacy of change, because they kind of go together. So, excuse me, I'll try and do both of them together. All right. First of all, the fallacy of fairness. You hear that a lot, and you especially hear it from children that, well, it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. Now, one of the things I really don't like about the fallacy of fairness is somehow it applies some kind of supernatural cosmic justice, that there's somebody there that's keeping score, like, oh, Ray did a good thing. Oh, he's got a brownie point here. Oh, that wasn't so good. That wasn't so good. That's so good. Yeah, we got to take away the brownie point. Oh, now he did something. So there's no cosmic justice. There isn't. I think a lot of that comes from religion, that if we do good things, then good things are going to happen to us. And if we sin, we're going to be punished. And earthquakes are God's way of punishing homosexuals in San Francisco. I mean, so I would ask you to just get rid of that fallacy of fairness altogether, because it's often expressed in conditional assumptions. Like, if you really loved me, you'd do the dishes. If you really loved me, you would take me with you to Minnesota. I had a young woman tell me that one time. It's like, I don't know, if you can't pay your way, you're not going. Anyway, if he really loved me, he'd read this book that I wanted him to read. If he cared at all, he'd come home on time. So fairness is just a subjective assessment of how much of what one expected, needed, or hoped for has been provided by the other person or by the whole universe. So get rid of that fallacy of fairness. I know we tell children, well, the world isn't fair, but, you know, I think it's a little bit deeper than that, that somehow we have the idea that the world is, that there's a scorekeeper up there. There's nobody keeping score at all. Sorry, there's just not. Now, the fallacy of change is our assumption that other people will change to suit us if we just pressure them enough. Our attention and energy are focused on others because our hope for happiness lies in getting them to change. Unfortunately, though, the strategies for changing others include blaming, demanding, withholding, and trading, with the underlying assumption that our happiness depends on the actions of others. I mean, it's just kind of a ridiculous assumption, but very often it's there. I mean, very often women will tell me, yeah, well, you know, in one case it was rather serious. And I knew about this individual that this woman was going to get involved with. I knew that he was a very violent man and did lots of violent things, had a long history of violence, a lot of arrests for assault and everything like that. And I remember telling her, you know, this is what I know about this individual. And her response was, well, you know, Ray, people change. He didn't. Not at all. So the idea that we, you know, when I saw this not too long ago, as a little sign, like almost like a bumper sticker thing that said, when you understand how difficult it is to change yourself, then imagine how difficult it is to change others. We just can't do it. But if we go into a relationship expecting that people are going to change the way we want them to, we're liable to be disappointed and resentful when that doesn't happen. So either we accept people as they are at face value, or don't let them into your space. So those are the two fallacies: the fallacy of fairness, implying cosmic justice, and the fallacy of change, that if we can get somebody to change, if they love us enough, they'll change. If they don't, then more cognitive distortions roll around. So anyway, ponder that one for a little while. All right, on we go.